Alright, so let's get started. What happened last session?
Man, shut
For
up.
who?
We're going to first focus on the group of three.
Thank
You
God.
all you
Wait, what
all
did you
left.
first? Is there anyone else?
Oh, oh, oh. We last three. Uh, last three for you all. You all left Grobby, Grobby's little shop, after discovering melting crystals, and drinking it can have some effects on you. A little bit of strength boost, maybe some control of the sand, but just not enough. Was drunken by Vita. Sorry, and you all went back to the basement, and you kind of just had a chat for the rest of the day, trying to figure out how exactly you all would travel. Felix has a bunch of spells for that. Vita has a bunch of spells for that. You all came back. You figured out how you are going to get to Oade. You're trying to stop the storm that is persistent across the Zaroon Dunes, because you heard there that there's a lot of powerful people there, and you all are going to head there. But you all chatted it up. You all discovered that Vita has a book called Simply Murder. You learned the plot of that book. Vita said he didn't really get it. It's a little bit of a disturbing book. But you, Turlon, then also wrestled with the fact personally that they can't seem to get rid of this purple crystal that they can see these little tadpoles flying around in. And after some discussion between everybody, you all went to bed, planning on leaving in the morning, and you all had some not very fun dreams. Vita had a dream where just an image, really, a feeling of just being in this infinitely flat space, this white plane, and just staring out into the distance. And Felix had a dream where he had an out-of-body experience where he was in this basement where he was sleeping, and he was trying to go and interact with people, but he was unable to interact with anybody. He was unable to scream, which is kind of frightening. And then Turlon had a dream where they were floating in space, surrounded by these lights that were passing them, hearing these words pass by as well that mean something to Turlon, and then hearing the voice yell out to him after being pulled away, saying, "Put me back together." So you all awoke with the fright, kind of figured out some things in the morning, and you all are making ready to leave. So is there anything you would all like to say? Mother Donipin and Mrs. Viaton seem to just be in the basement, chilling. Everybody is kind of waking up. It's probably around 8, 9 in the morning. Doesn't really matter here because of the storm.
I wake up and I feel for my trinket, my beloved, beloathed trinket.
Mm-hmm. And it is in the pocket you put it in.
Was this
I breathe a sigh of relief before, kind of pausing to just brood
was this
about it.
when did this I forget the order of the dreams. Was there another dream where
Dream.
Felix woke me up?
No, so
Remember
that some of that we've already role play out a little bit of the morning. Turlon tried to
Right.
get rid of that stone outside and was unable
Right,
to, and then
okay. That was this morning.
Felix talked to Ori about, did I
Yes.
walk around at night, and Ori at first did not answer, but did eventually confess after some intimidation that Felix did in fact sleepwalk and shook Vita in his sleep, and Vita did not awake from that.
Which I think we clocked as really, really well. As players, we clocked as really, really weird that Ori would hide something from you or be,
Mm-hmm.
not want to tell you.
So, So you all have kind of role played out in the morning. I merely ask just, is there anything more that you all have in your mind to do
Nope.
before you head out?
No, I
All
think
right.
we had all the conversations last week.
Yes. So after you all are starting to get ready, you get your bags together. You have a plan for how you're gonna make food and tents and everything like that. Or just sleeping at night and a spell that Vita can do. And you have these big pelts that were given by Mrs. Viaton. As you are about to leave the basement and go out in the wild, Mrs. Viaton walks up to all of you. I'll drag people around, and I'll say, Mrs. Viaton walks up to all of you, and she says, "Well, thank you again for everything you're doing, and for going to Oade, and for saving some of our people. Again, I apologize for our treatment with you originally, and I hope that you all can forgive us." And she kind of looks to the three of you for a response.
You're forgiven.
Yeah, think nothing of it.
I'm just gonna like nod.
She says, "Well, if you all are trying to get to Oade, if you all travel about northwest," and she kind of points in the direction that you all will need to travel, "for about 20 miles. There's normally a path, but it's most likely covered by snow. But if you start walking that way for about 20 miles, it's going to be hard to miss. You're going to eventually hit a road that is paved. Even if it's covered by snow, it'll feel quite different once you walk upon it. It's very wide as well. And if you just continue west from there, you will eventually get to Oade." And she kind of looks to the three of you, and she's already stated this, but she says again, "It's going to be a treacherous journey. I can tell that you all are prepared and capable, but I still wanted to wish you all good luck."
Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
And she says, "Well, it sounds like it's raining out there, which is probably the best precipitation, so you all best get going."
Bye-bye.
And I will say, as you all leave, you can see outside. It is still storming or raining quite heavily, but I'll say you all notice that it is noticeably more visible. Maybe before yesterday, on average, it was like 5 to 10 feet of visibility, even with y'all's dark vision. I'll say now you can probably see around 30 feet. It's still quite dark outside, but you can see like 30 feet in front of you, even though it's in the daytime. It's still quite dark out just due to the cloud cover. But what animals, I think, is the first important. What animals do you want to summon, Felix?
We were just gonna do like camels, right?
It was either camels or a snake creature that you've heard about.
I feel like
think we-
camels are easier.
Yeah, I think we started asking about like the efficiency on
the
snow of all of them,
efficiency.
and then I
Yeah.
think he
Camels
was
is
just like, it
better.
doesn't really matter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Then,
Okay.
yeah, whichever spell.
Let me cast those spells. All right. So it's just gonna be. I'll put it in chat once.
Okay.
I'm just gonna cast all three of them, one for each of us. Okay, they put it in chat every time I cast the spell. Anyway,
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
a large fantastical creature to serve as a mount for the target. The mount is the target's minion, has a speed of 40 feet, and can bear the target with any carried possessions. It can't carry
Oh.
any other creature. The mount uses the target's AC and saves, but it's destroyed if it takes more than 10 damage at one time, ending the spell. So, yeah, I target each one of you, both of you, and then myself, and then cast for each casting of that spell, and then a camel is like made of sand. Like he's conjured from sand, and then in like a puff of magic, it turns into a real camel.
Why is it so itchy?
I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm sorry.
So these things are real,
Yeah, they're real.
and you've seen them before?
Yes.
Okay. You guys first. You guys go first.
All right. I will.
How do you? Yeah, they don't. I've never really been around animals like this.
I think you do it like this, and then I want to get on the camel.
I like
Okay.
lean, lean
Okay.
in and kind of like squint, trying very carefully.
I don't remember. I don't know how to do it in real life. Assumedly,
sit on
they
this
would
hump?
have saddles as well, or whatever. I don't know. Whatever you need to ride a camel. I don't know.
So I'll say that they have mounting equipment.
Yeah.
Great question is how do you mount? Let's just say that.
Hop on.
Let's just say a nice little acrobatics check. I don't think you need to tame this animal in some way, but
Oh,
give me an
boy.
acrobatics check, Felix, to see how well, because you have never mounted a camel before. All right. I'll say that as you leap up, it takes you a couple leaps to get up, but as soon as you are up there firmly, it seems like the reins are there, and you've probably controlled other animals before. It seems to not be too difficult. It seems like the animal, not only is it's not an actual animal, but it is summoned specifically to be ridden and controlled and summoned. So you find it actually easier to control than other animals that you've ever handled before. So I'd like an acrobatics check from Turlon and Vita.
I'm gonna try to like very carefully, basically imitate what I saw. What I saw Felix doing. 22.
30.
I'll say
Okay,
that.
okay, big man, big man.
I'll say
Big
Felix.
Big ups.
Big ups.
Felix.
Big ups.
Big
Literally
ups.
big ups. Literally big.
Big ups. Big
True,
uppies.
true.
Hey.
Uppies, big uppies.
Hey, give me
I'll
uppies.
say Felix, as you were looking at the two, you kind of had a little bit of an difficulty in it, and you look over at Turlon and Vita, and the only thing I have in my head is like Legolas mounting like a horse in Lord of the
Oh my
Rings, just
God.
like effortlessly, just kind of leaping up. It's as if they've done this 100 times. They leap up onto the camel.
That isn't
And
too bad. But how do you
Ugh.
make it to go?
I'll say
I-
as you're
This part's magic. This part's magic. It is your
Oh.
minions, so these are made and attuned specifically to you.
So actually, I want to just
So
say,
you-
I'll look at it. I'll say, I say that. I look at
The
the
camel then goes.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
That's how
it
this-
follows your command as if
Whoa, okay,
you-
stop.
it stops.
I kind of like nod my head. I've never seen anything like this. This is very useful. Thank you, Felix.
You're
I'm
welcome.
gonna like awkwardly pat the horse camel as if it's an animal,
Yeah,
and then kind of realize what
It
I'm
is.
doing.
It does
look
have
at my
like
hand.
skin and hair.
mhm,
Like
yes.
it's like
It's like Sandman.
it's like sand filling up a
Sandman.
conjured
Sandman.
camel hide.
Mm.
It's like the skin and the hair
Taxidermy.
or whatever
Yes.
Yeah.
is real. But if it like died, it would just like sand would pour out instead of innards.
I'm saying go full
Oh, yeah.
speed.
Okay.
Go.
Go.
Vita's just going off, and I will say that as you all begin to start traversing, and I will say that first I just want to ask, is there anything you all want to talk about as you all are traveling, or just to get out the talking?
Yes. You don't get to
or-
say no. I say yes. I'm just messing. I do have something I want to talk about though, and I swear to God, it's not because I know he's here. But I have wanted to bring it up for a little bit, so I am gonna ask.
Yeah.
Do you guys think we have any sign of seeing Alden?
Who?
The amazing, the not so
Oh,
amazing
oh, oh.
barbarian. But don't tell him I said that. Don't tell him I said that.
No, I don't see how. I mean, we left him at the mountain that we got thrown off of, so he's probably
We did
still up there.
inexplicably run into it before.
I don't even really know what he was doing up there, like why he was kept. So I'm not really sure.
Yeah, well, that was in the same town we ran to him. Now we're a whole mountain down and miles out in a desert.
Yeah.
There's really no way you could find us.
Absolutely no way. I like. Why would? What reason would he have to be going this way?
Well, I suppose it was nice to know him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish he would have taught me more spells. He always just told me he would get around to it, but I don't
I'm not
think
so
he
sure.
ever
I'm
taught
not so
me
sure he
any.
really does know any good magic.
He had a really good card trick.
Card tricks are magic. Card tricks are just play of the hands. I kind of like weave my hands
Oh,
around. I can do card tricks. I'm not
okay.
magic.
Well, now I want to see him again and ask him about this.
Well, if we ever see him again, that's the first thing we can ask.
Yeah.
That's him if he knows about cranbread. And I kind of turn to the steed
No.
and just keep going.
Okay. Forward.
Forward. I'll say that after about an
If
hour.
he shows up. If
All
he
the
shows
balls
up
from the sky.
after this conversation.
Yo,
Stupid.
I'm glad you brought it up. After about an hour into the journey, I'd like you all to give me perception checks for me.
Oh no, we're in the desert.
23.
Ooh.
9.
Ooh.
Natural one. Don't forget that.
I'll say, I'll say that Vita, you are just enamored by the entire experience of you've never seen a camel before, and now you're riding it, and you're like magically controlling it, and you're just thinking in your head like, holy shit, I can like make it kind of go left and then right, and like you can feel this extension.
I
You're
could
not
get
really
a
paying
big
attention.
machine that could do the same thing. We could all get around a lot faster.
the
That's what I'm thinking.
ideas are churning. And I'll say that Felix and Turlon, you both look, you're kind of, facing in front of you. And again, you can only see maybe like 30, 40 feet in front of you without any light. And you probably see about like 45 feet in front of you, all kind of emerging slowly but surely as you all are just traveling. You can see that there's two figures on the edge of your vision, and one of them appears to be holding a torch. That's kind of how you can see these individuals, because you can kind of see the light, and excuse me, you can presume that they would not, they cannot see you without you all getting closer. You kind of have noticed them just before they seem to be approaching you all. But as the DM, I'm going to switch perspectives from this moment.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Let's give a little recap of last session. What happened?
Alden Cam.
What happened with Alden? Well, after witnessing Vaku go through the nightmare trials, which,
Okay, man.
going through the nightmare trials, which seemed to be very similar to your trials, Alden, until two distinct memories of both a vision of Syme leaving Vaku on the mountain, and then also seeing a awe-inspiring sight of Sintong, God of Stars, kind of a vision of him relinquishing the power that Vaku has, and it being stripped away from Vaku. You all travel back up to Vaku's peak, look at some of the items that Vaku has collected in the meantime as you were going through your trials. You got to keep some of them. You talked about some some deals between the two of you all that you had agreed upon. And she asked one more favor of you, Alden, to come to Zua's lounge and to win back through a series of a betting game, win back a Sumia anchor that she was looking for in order to get Syme out of the nightmare realm. So you go to Zua's lounge, and you see just a crazy space. And after meeting Captain Myers, kind of chatting it up with him, the god of pirateering, you chat with him for a while. You drink some tar, which is a disgusting liquid. It feels wrong to drink. and you use your coin of luck in order to win the betting game. And afterwards, Vaku gets the Sumia anchor, and Captain Myers wants to look at your coin of luck. He is looking at it, and then he becomes he's looking at it, and then he becomes quite angry at you and accuses you of bringing an Alcazan artifact within Zua's lounge, which is against the rules. You, of course, didn't know, but you essentially got out of him that these artifacts don't really mix well with deities, and so you shouldn't have brought it in here. And he seems to have known that because there was the language that you all had discovered at Vaku's Peak, Alcation, written on the edge of the coin. And so you were to be sent away, but not sent away back to Vaku, because Vaku obviously couldn't be trusted since she didn't even know you had this coin on you. So you were to be sent back to the last people that you had interacted with. So some deities went into your mind, found it was these three individuals that were currently walking through a desert. And so you have now been picked up by a giant raven bird named Bryn. And that is where we're going to start the session for you. As you're grabbed by the claws of Bryn, a flash of white blinds your eyes for just a moment before you start to feel wind around you as you are soaring high in the air. You open your eyes and you're looking around, and you can see that you are actually now, you were in Zua's lounge, but it seems suddenly you are traveling high above Vaku's Peak, and you can see the Tilki Forest far below you to your right, and it looks like you are flying within the claws of Bryn towards the Zaroon Dunes. I'll say in this moment, how is Alden reacting?
Alden is still sick from the tar, and now he has vertigo from being thrusted into the air.
Yeah.
So he's gonna vomit again.
Hell yeah. I'll say that even after all the vomiting that you've been doing, very little comes out, but still just the retching noises of just the experience is terrible. It's probably getting all over you, especially as you're traveling at such high speeds. But I'll say, you're just having this awful experience, but you're moving at quite a fast pace. Bryn appears to be quite fast, and that same storm that you saw days ago at this point, with the time jumps in the Nightmare Rim, who knows? But the same store that you saw from the mountaintops, you're quickly approaching the edge of it. You still see flashes of light blue light in the clouds like you saw before, and eventually you hit the edge of the storm, and before you were just going through air, but suddenly there's just water and rain pelting your face and clothes as you're shooting through this storm. And it's completely dark and around you, and you can only see occasional flashes of blue lights above you as the sun's light quickly disappears behind you as you're traveling at quite high speeds. It's probably a terrible experience. We're now going to switch back. So you see these two figures in the distance, Turlon and Felix. What do you all do? You can kind of see them just kind of walking towards you all, not menacingly, not running. They're just walking with a torch.
Immediate hands up, hands up. Do you guys see them? I whisper.
Yep.
No. What?
Peter looks right there.
Over there. And I stop my horse and I say stop your camels.
Stop.
We need to avoid this. We don't know who this could be.
Why do we need to? Yeah.
Well, we're 50 miles away from a road, right? Like we're in the middle of nowhere in this storm, and there's two people approaching us. We should be cautious at least.
Okay.
After about this point, you're probably halfway to the road. It was only 20 miles away.
We're at least 15 miles away from a road. I mean, I'll just say it in character. We're at least 15 miles away from a road. We don't know who these people could be.
Fine.
I'd say we try to take evasive maneuvers and get a closer look on them before they can see us, see who they are.
Okay.
All right.
We don't know if they could be a threat.
I can use my new.
Can we just maybe take a wide berth, since we kind of see them now? We could just give them a bit of a wide berth and try to get as close as that we can so we can see them, but put like a lot of distance between us.
I'll say you can attempt it, they're just walking, so they're kind of approaching you all as you're deciding this. I'll say give me a stealth check from all of you to see if you are able to kind of get around them without noticing.
Oof.
Vita,
Clicked on the wrong button.
we're keeping it bad. Oh, boring. That was okay. Boring.
I rolled a 4.
Those levels
I'll
sound slick.
I'll say it is kind of slick. So I'll say as you kind of start trying to make your way to one side, the group of you didn't have enough time to kind of deliberate. And so, one of your camels starts to going the other way, and you start trying to motion to each other, like, hey, no, we need to go this way. And, like, there's a little bit of some communication failures and some confusion. And then the light has now hit you all. You can see it against your own skin, so you know that they are able to see you. And I'll say that let me make sure. You hear a voice, or no, I'll say as they start to approach, you can get kind of a closer look now that you can see them carrying light, obviously. I'll say that you see that they are wearing the same outfit. This consists, and I'll actually move you all to. I'll activate this scene.
Whoa.
No
I'll
way.
say.
There's nothing here.
This is the blank
Well,
slate.
Look up a little bit. Look up a little bit.
Uh-oh. Because it's just so we can see everything. So
Hey man, I hate that guy. Fuck this guy.
I'll say.
And why is he here?
I'll say about 30 feet wound. Like about 30 feet in front of you, you see these two individuals that are wearing this kind of pointed helmet with kind of this face covered. They can only see their eyes. It has this dark, the picture doesn't really show it, but like this dark orange leather set of armor. It has straps of blue and green across the front. There's metal kind of stitched onto the chest and the shoulders. And you can see the front center of the torso has an emblem that appears to be a curved, 24-pointed orange star that is surrounded in white. And one of the two of them is carrying a large sack that's kind of strapped over their shoulder. And it's carrying at their side. And you hear one of them call out, "Halt! We are part of the Zaroon Guard. What are you three doing, traveling in this storm?"
We're going to Oade.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Oade, well, it must be urgent to travel such a distance in this unnatural storm. What is your business there?"
That's a really long story.
I just say it's our own business.
That too.
He says, "Well, that's understandable. Well, we're just trying to help travelers within here. We are actually on our way towards Losta. Unfortunately, all of our supplies we have here, we can't really aid your long journey, but you all seem capable with your camels." And they kind of glance at it and said, "Did you all come from Losta?"
Yeah.
I sigh, a nod.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, one of them, and this is the one with not carrying the sack, kind of calls out, and it's like in this rain, so you can still hear the rain around you, but kind of calls out, "How is Losta faring from this storm? Are there
Really
damages?"
Yeah.
Multiple dead, yes. A lot of damage to property, buildings.
You can see them kind of sigh and said, "Well, we are sorry to hear that. That's why we are trying to bring these supplies to help them. We've heard the storm should pass over them soon, which is good news, but we're also looking for 3 individuals in Losta. Do you all know if there are and they kind of look to each other and they say, a Vita, Felix, and Prestel that are still there?
No, we didn't hear of
Yeah.
anything.
And more importantly, why are you asking?
And I'll say as you all finish
Trying to find
answering this.
specific people in a storm like this must be difficult.
I'll say as soon as you finish that, Prestel, or I should say Turlon, you all suddenly hear behind you three, but in front of the Zaroon guards, behind you three, you hear this large, distorted "Ha!" from behind you, and turning to see, all of a sudden you see this large 10-foot tall raven-like creature with its wings kind of extended out, flying about 15 feet above you, kind of just shooting down with these massive wings. And you see that it's holding something in its claws, and it opens it, and a familiar figure in blue, and a blue cloak and a white beard, now soaking, falls from about 10 feet in the air.
Fly from the sky earlier, literally.
God.
Kind of beside you all. I'm gonna drag where Alden lands.
It's him.
He just fucking into mud.
Just as soon as they land, and I'll say,
I'm gonna.
and I'll say as soon as it's dropped. There's a lot of things happening at once. I'll let you know. I'll say as soon as it's dropped, the bird is yelling out. As you can see, just briefly, you can see that its head is not that of a raven or of any kind of bird. It's actually the head of like a human, which has like black feathers on its face, and it yells out, "Remember to never show something like that to a deity again!" And the creature, the black flying creature, just starts flying away. And I'll say, as this was going down, you all can give your reactions, but just to give you a reference for what the guards are doing. The two guards, you can kind of see in your peripheral, have unsheathed their weapons that have kind of extended out into these poles with a large blade at the end of it. And you can kind of see that the blade is crackling with this orange sparkling light. As they're kind of just holding there in a stance, waiting for something to happen. But how do you all react?
To hold all signs of surprise, I immediately speed walk up to Alden and whisper to him without any hesitation that the two guards are looking for the three of us specifically, and to keep quiet about it. And you don't know our names.
Alden.
And then I go to like help him up.
I'll say Alden.
I try to like mask the whispering and like picking him, like going to help him up.
I'll say Alden. As you land on the ground, I'll say, how do you react to all of this? You just landed on the ground, and I'll say you land in this snowy, wet mixture mixed with like sand, and it's not like snow on top of sand. It's like this muddy, gross. You've just landed kind of face first into
How did the bird drop me?
Just straight up 10 feet out of the air.
Okay, so I'm face planted.
You just face planted, yeah.
I'm dirty in the mud. My ears are ringing like crazy because I just flew next to a thunderstorm that probably blew out my eardrums, as well as the wind blasting my ears. And I'm on my hands and knees, dry heaving.
Alden.
Just, and now I'm getting pulled up, and I hear just, from
presumably I can tell Alden can't understand anything I'm saying. It's just spaced out.
I'll say Alden, you look in front of you and you see Turlon.
I go. I touch their face, and I go, and I just kind of.
I say yes, it's
claw at it.
It's me.
Just gonna go. You're alive. You're alive.
Whisper slightly.
You smell
more.
alcohol on my breath because I'm still drunk from the tar.
I take note of it and slightly louder, but still trying to hide it. I say, "Don't say our names."
Your names?
We were just talking about you.
Remember your names.
I literally, I grab Alden Remember, I'm pretty like weak in comparison to Alden, like
Oh,
strength
yeah.
wise. But I grab Alden and I'm gonna shake you and say, "Listen to me. Shh.
Huh.
We're here to help you."
I'll say the guards yell out and say, "You know this person!"
Who are they?
Alden, now is your
They're
chance.
gods who
Use
are
a
looking for.
spell. Get rid of these guards, Alden. Show us your magic.
I'm out of
What?
mana.
They're,
What?
they're guards. They are guards who are looking for 3 people named Terlan, Vida, and Felix, who are not us. And I whispered that last part very sharply to
They're
him.
not you. Okay, I think I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what are our names? This guy will tell you our names. I say the guard. He knows who we are.
Oh my god.
Well, who are they?
We don't
I
know.
don't
They're
know.
besides they're the rune gods. But this whole back and forth conversation is pointless. Why don't you just talk to them?
How are
I'm
my
gonna,
buddies? How are my buddies
help-
looking?
help you up.
How are they looking? What's my perception of them? The group? What's my perception of these guards?
You see.
Can I roll a perception?
Yeah,
roll
roll
or
a perception check. Roll a perception check for sure.
Oh damn!
I'll say
Damn.
that you see the 3 people that you thought were dead and you just learned like 30 minutes ago were alive. You see 3 camels in this gigantic storm, and you see some people who are guards just kind of holding not like, oh, I'm gonna fucking attack you, but like, they've unsheathed their weapons and are holding them and just staring at this entire exchange, looking, not scared, but also not like angry, just like more confused, definitely.
Oh, you replaced me, huh? With these 2 assholes?
No.
Oh,
What?
okay.
I do a double take. We just
What?
met these 2 people just now.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't seem right.
What do you want? I look over at the guards.
That's a great question. What do you want?
The two guards.
I know
I'm
the
very
answer,
sick.
but anyway.
This must be the most confusing day of their lives.
I can't put into words. You all have, like, Alden, your perception check wasn't the best. I'll say I don't think we need perception checks from the others. I'll say that these 2 guards look more confused. Not angry, not any other emotion, can't describe it. Is as if you ask someone to make the most confused face possible, and they're looking at it, just holding on to their weapons, because they don't view anyone as a threat right now. They just have no idea. And they say, you're asking what they're doing, and they said, well, we are bringing supplies to Losta, giving them the news that the storm will be over soon. And we were asked by Sir Ross, and and the guy who's talking starts going on a little bit, but the other one interrupts and he says, Sir Ross is the leader of the Vein Breakers, if you know who those people are,
Make a
and the
check
other
for that.
people.
Is it
I'll say,
Sir
Alden, you do not
Ross
know who the Vein
or
Breakers are.
Saros?
Sir Ross is what they're saying.
I'm gonna make a deception check to hide my immediate concern when they say that name. I'm sure they can't see it, but I panic a little bit before, just like breathing to calm myself down.
They say, Sir Ross is looking for a Vida, Felix, and Prestel, who are within Lasta. They want to, or he wants to, let me make sure. He is inviting them to have a dinner in Oade. Apparently they've done a good favor for him.
You're not looking for someone named Alden?
And they say, no. Is that you? Do you normally arrive by bird thing?
Usually, yes.
It's a good thing they're not looking for any of us then, right, Alden?
We're not them.
And I'm just gonna like turn and just shift the conversation entirely.
Okay.
Lasta will be in great need of your supplies. They've taken serious damage.
Yeah, they're
I
almost
understand
dead.
it. I kind of looked to you, knowing that you weren't there, just like trying to stop myself from laughing, almost before turning back to the guards. They're very low on supplies. They need a lot of food, medical care, anything like that. I think they are aware that the storm is mostly going to pass soon, but any aid you can provide them, post haste, I'm sure will be very helpful. And we must be on our way.
And they look at each other and they look at you all and they say, "Well, good luck on your journey, I guess." And they start to kind of walk by you all. And I'll say, as they get like halfway between you all, one, I'll just want to, just as a role play moment, what are you all doing? Like, as they're just kind of walking by, are you just kind of standing there watching? What's
Yeah.
everybody's doing?
I'm watching them.
I'm trying to clean myself off.
You go.
I'm gonna be just kind of looking at Alden and just giving him like very serious. I'm like waiting for him to fuck up and trying to cover for it,
I'm not even
No-
looking at
no,
Turlon. I'm just trying to get the mud off me.
knowing that he's drunk. Not
I
knowing that
like
he's drunk on
I
tongue,
like
but knowing that
I
he's
like tap one of the guard's shoulders, just like a friendly, like, yo, thanks. Stay safe.
Kind of just nods
Dangerous.
at you, and as you tap
Thanks, buddy.
and says thank you, as they're almost about to pass, or they have passed, but they're like maybe 5 feet ahead before they keep walking on their path. You hear a voice that's neither of their own, and it says, quickly, let me make sure. You hear a voice, and it's a quite high-pitched voice, I'll say, that it appears to be coming, like, voice-wise, direction-wise, from the guards, but is certainly not either of their voices. You've heard them speak. And you hear a voice that says, wait now, guards! That's not... there. I recognize their voices. I think it is those three. I just want to talk to them. And the guards kind of turn around and look at you all, and they've sheathed their weapons. I'll say that. So they're just kind of standing
You
there
got
now.
us.
You actually say that?
No.
Oh, I was. I'm actually, Turlon is tense, and they're like trying to stop themselves from reaching towards their sword themselves. They turn around. They say, "I'm sorry. What is that?"
And one of the guards, the one with the lapsack, says, "Oh, and pulls out this little half stone, this stone that is the shape of a hemisphere, right? So it's just half of like a sphere. Kind of pulls it out, and it has this kind of slight glow to it, this slight like gray glow to it. Pulls it out of the bag, and says to it, and it kind of pulls out and it says, it was this. This is a listening stone. Sir Ross is speaking through it. And you hear once again this high-pitched voice and says, yes, yep, I am Sir Ross, and I recognize your three voices.
I'm gonna
Okay.
look at you two, or you three now. Sorry, and back at the stone, and I'm gonna say, is this a joke? Seriously, we have important business in Oade. Can we just? We're
Give me
wasting our
a-
time right now.
Give me
How
a
small
deception
is he?
check. Give me a deception
I
check.
would argue that I'm glad to have it be deception, but I'm not sure if that's a lie. 24.
I will say that the guards say, I don't think he's joking, but and you can see that he pulls out this other half stone, the same stone that's glowing, and he kind of holds it up to his mouth and he says, Sir Ross, I don't know how you could recognize their voice. I think these people just are trying to go on their business. And you hear
Thank you.
from the
Those
other
reports
stone.
is greatly appreciated.
The other stone starts speaking. It says, No, it's just so difficult to explain, but there was a listening stone on Rayladen. I heard all their conversations. I know it's them. I know, please. I just want to speak to you all directly. You don't have to go through the guards. I can do it from here if it works.
Are the living stones
Let me see that.
common in real life, or sorry, not real life, in this world, or is this like
I
a
will,
This is real.
sufficiently bizarre artifact that I can fake that I don't know what it is?
I will say that you all, the three of you that were in Losta, have never seen something like this. Alden, you have seen something. You know exactly what this is. You've
Yeah,
seen it.
sure.
You saw it just recently.
I have
You
one of
wanna go-
those.
You want to go Alden, or do you?
Alden, I heard you say
I don't want
something.
to interrupt you.
I say, wait, why do you want to see us again with them?
And the guards like look like they're about to speak, but then they like stop and they kind of just hold up the stone. And after a moment, you hear Sir Ross. Apparently, you hear well, you see, you all killed Rayladen. Yes, I'm gonna presume that it is you, and I haven't actually made a mistake. But you all killed Rayladen, and
Which
he
one of
went.
you is? I look to the two of them. I cut off Saras. Which one of you is the ventriloquist here? Is this a joke? I don't. I just keep looking at the stone and acting like I'm baffled by this. Can we
And
He's in that. He's
I
in
have no
that
interest
zone.
in talking to you through a stone. Whichever one of the two of you is doing the voice.
Who's Rayladen?
I'll say, I'll say, it is a crazy set of circumstances. I'll say, Turlon, do you believe that they are talking through the stone?
No, of course not. I'm lying through my fucking teeth. I just want them to shut the fuck up and go away.
Then make a deception check for you saying that. Please.
21.
I'll say that the guards are the guards. They're in such a hard position. I'll say that they look like that we're not doing an act. This is Saras. This is a listening stone. I don't. And then Alden, I'll say you say, who's Rayladon? And there, it's Sir Ross says that Rayladon was a rogue Veinbreakers member, or was a rogue
What?
Veinbreakers
Let's
member.
be clear.
You killed him. I know it's you.
Guys, I believe
I-
this guy. He says
I-
he says he's giving us a gift. You know what? We
I
did.
don't-
I
don't-
killed
Do
him.
you have
Me.
Do you have a bath where you are? Do you have a
don't-
bath where you are?
Why are we
Yes.
Why are we entertaining these two, for all I know, highway robbers? Can we just leave already? I look to the.
They're men in uniform. They wouldn't lie.
No, I want their
Oh, no
their
one's
gift
ever lied
before
in
they're
the
gonna
uniform,
leave.
Alden. They don't have a
Oh.
gift to us.
So we're all just arguing.
This is so
What?
stupid. I'm ready to leave. I have no
They
reason
know
to keep
us.
listening to
What
these
was the
guards.
name of the third person they were looking for that wasn't Vita? And
Pristil.
Okay, we can literally
I look
walk
over
away
at
right
Felix
now,
and
and
go,
they will do
Pristel, what do
nothing.
you think?
What do you
I
say,
like shit.
Felix?
We could literally just leave. Is the thing. They cannot stop us from walking away. We can have this conversation in our term, on our terms, in a way.
Oh my god.
I don't want to leave. I think I fully believe they have a gift for us because they have this knowledge. They know.
Have you heard of what organization did they say they were from?
They said the Vein
Which
Breakers.
above board, we
I can't
absolutely
hear Steven.
know.
What did he just say?
Vein Breakers.
Okay, can I roll a history or society check to see if I know
Sure.
what that is?
What does
Sure.
Alden know about this? Can you
Oh,
imagine if he?
I'll
No way
say
he would know.
Alden.
Oh, the
you...
vein breakers. Yeah.
I
I'll
founded
say,
them.
oh.
I'll say. I'll say that what you know, Alden, is the name rings a bell, but it doesn't seem like what would make sense with the conversation. What you know of the Vein Breakers is they're like an investigation group.
Oh,
They're like a detective group.
okay.
So like someone dying or these people apparently killing one of their members and then being rewarded for it wouldn't make sense. So
I
I'll
didn't know he
say
was one of
it's
their
kind of
members.
confusing. That's what Sir
just
Ross said. is
Oh,
that Rayladin was a rogue member of the Banebreakers.
wait. So you're giving them a reward for killing a member of your group? I don't get it.
He
Sir
was the
Ross,
worst guy.
he says, yes, it was a faulty contract, and he was going to kill innocent people, and if it weren't for these three people, Turlon, Vita, Perstel, then we're just trying to look for them. Now I'm beginning to have doubts if it's really you three. Why? I just want to reward you all.
Okay, where are you? You come to us. Well, actually, no. You have the bath, so I kind of want to go to you. You have a
You guys
bath,
are
right?
people lose their minds in real life.
Says yes.
Are these humans? Are these humans?
They're both humans, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna turn around and say in Elvish to the two can understand. Sorry, Alden. All right, level with me here. Do we trust these people or not? All right, they're acting like the Mainbreakers aren't an assassin's guild. That's all I've known them as. So I don't trust them as far as I can throw them. I don't want to go with them. I don't want to go near them. I don't want to trust them with anything. I don't want to be around them. I want to leave. Unless the two of you actually tell me you sincerely trust.
No, I
that
want to
they
leave. No, I want to
us
leave.
here,
I want to
then
leave.
let's leave right now. You're coming with
Well,
us.
wait. I don't
Vida.
trust them. I
I'm
don't
like
trust them.
actually,
But he
and
knows
I
it's
roll my.
us.
I am smart enough not to say my character's name, this character's
Yeah,
name, so I don't say
right,
his
right.
name. But I say, why do you care about that? We can leave.
Because
They're two assholes with swords. We can walk away.
if he is in charge
We
of the
can.
Vein Breakers and he
We'll
knows,
meet him in Oade. He's suspecting us in Oade. Why submit to these two guards now?
I'll
When
say
we are
He can
weak
that.
and
bring
in
us
the middle
back.
of
God
nowhere.
damn it.
I just want to
Oh.
hear what he's saying.
I'll say you hear from the
Before
voice,
we-
even though you all are speaking in Elvish, you hear from Sir Ross, from the stone. You hear, yes, the goal is we could get you all to Oade, and I could give you a reward. You don't have to travel through the storm, which is what you seem to be getting here anyway. I don't know why you're trying to come
In
here, but
common or elf?
it works out. That's a great question. He probably says it in Elvish.
Oh fuck!
I just say yeah, whatever Elvish swear, and I'm just gonna say all right, point blank. I'm done arguing. I'm gonna listen to the two of you. We can leave here on our own right and not to be in control of them because we don't trust them when we go with them. I throw my hands up. What do you want to do?
I want to go with them. I don't want to travel through the storm. It's going to take forever.
Yeah, I don't think we're in control of them. I feel like it's either we stay here, listen to what he says through this rock, or we go there where it might be a trap because we've defied them now, and then we have to deal with them in person, which I feel like is
This could be a
more.
trap too.
Yeah, but I'd rather deal with two guys in the desert than the actual boss himself in the city.
If they're going to teleport us back to the city with their teleportation stones, we don't know where we're going.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I think we should hear what he has to say before we do any teleporting or leaving. 'Cause
Yeah,
he's a
I will
stone.
turn to the stone and say in Elvish, why should we trust you?
It says, I'll say that the voice responds now in common. I'll say, give me a moment of thought. Sir Ross would be much more prepared than that.
Sir Ross would have an instant response. This would be known. It would be witty as well.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Alden's asking the guards for some water.
I'll say the one, like, the guards at this point are just holding the stones out. So I'll say, if you, like, say it to the side, the one with the sack, like, kind of nods to you and gives you just, like, a jug of water that has it's in these supplies.
I drink all of it.
I'll say, and, like, the guards are kind of just, like, shaking at this point because it's obviously very tense. And Sir Ross responds says, because you all discussed it in front of Rayladin, that it was a bogus idea, that there was going to be farmers, and, farmers were revolting against Mrs. Viaton. It was a bogus story from the beginning, but the Veinbreakers, we have to investigate matters just in case, even if it sounds preposterous, and that's what Rayladin was there for. And this is all in common, so you can hear this, Alden. And that's what Rayladin was there for. And then it seems like he saw the opportunity to maybe cash out on this and become a senior member. That's the deal he proposed to you all, and that is not what we uphold here in the Vein Breakers. And it seems like he's rambling at this point, but I'll say the gist of it is that he seems to know a lot about your conversations with Rayladin, and he did mention that Rayladin had a listening stone on him, which is what these things have been referred to as.
Yeah. No reason for us to doubt he was listening to our whole conversation. That much is like obvious.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely heard everything we said. At no point have I thought this guy is lying. I have only not trusted him. And I still don't trust him. But I say, if you guys want to go with him, I'm not getting anywhere without the two of you. In this
What is
discussion.
your reward you're giving us?
He says, well, I have prepared a wonderful meal from many various places across Sumia, and then if you want to be an Oade, you have...
There's going to be cran bread.
I would
No.
kill. Alden goes, oh man, I'd kill for some cran bread right about now.
You've heard of cran bread for sure, Alden. But
He has?
yes, he has. I'll say that.
Where are they from?
Could Sir Ross continue? Sir Ross continues and says, I have a great meal prepared. Quick travel to Oade. It seems like you all wanted to go there anyway. And then once we're done, if you want to do things away, I'll owe you a favor. I could maybe get something in with one of the high priests, maybe even a superior priest. I don't know. And if you want travel to somewhere else within Sumia, I could provide that as well.
Oh, all right, I'm convinced.
Just so you know, in case something's afoot here, we all were just, I say we all, and I just exclude Alden in that. We all were just thrown off of a mountain by a deity, and you know what happened? We all lived perfectly fine. So if you're thinking of anything suspicious, it's probably not going to work, and we don't even know why. So don't even ask us.
Yeah, and he says, I fully understand that you all are very capable individuals. I'm not thinking of messing with you all. I'm bringing you to the Vein Breakers headquarters. I don't want you to, I'm not going to bring you here unless I thought that I was going to make a reasonable deal with you all.
Okay, sounds good.
As you said, I didn't want to cut anyone off, but as you said, we'll be alive. We fell off a mountain alive and we'll be fine again. Vita, I kind of look at you and I nod approvingly. I'm like, big ups.
Mm-hmm. Big ups.
Big ups to that one.
I look to the two of you guys. I'd really rather not get teleported right into Veinbreaker headquarters.
We'll be fine.
I'm tired of walking.
We'll be fine. We're invincible. We literally.
We're not.
We're not okay.
Fell
No,
off a mountain.
we're not invincible, but we will be fine.
Okay. Yeah. Vita hasn't gotten hit yet this whole game, I don't think. So he thinks
Vita's invincible.
I killed 2 yetis, so I can take anything.
you killed 2 of those things.
I turned what?
Yeah, with my bare hands.
Okay.
Where do you propose to take us then? Directly to the Veinbreakers headquarters right now? As I'm asking to the
Sir
fucking
Ross.
So Ross, are you there? Hello.
Yes.
I'm going to a tunnel, I believe.
I wanna teleport right now. I'm very tired of being in this rain.
Okay. Well, excuse me, and says, oh God, I need to bring up their names, sorry.
Now, Sir Ross, now.
He says, well, Luther, you continue on with the supplies, and make sure that, Losta gets them, but, of course I have their names separate, 1 second.
The other one's name is Zeke, you know this.
Zeke and Luther.
And
Kings.
And says, and Ramor, if you can get out the the sending stone, and you all can come here quickly. Get out of
Okay.
that rain.
Yeah.
All right.
I hate this guy. I
Whew.
literally don't trust this guy. We're gonna get fucking burned by this guy in 10 sessions. I'm calling it
Uh,
now. Watch it back on YouTube, asshole. Shit.
I think
I'll
he's gonna be
say
the sweetest little guy.
he's
I
gonna
get to be the
sw-
naive one. I don't have to think about these things.
I'll say
My character's whole thing necessitates me to think about these kinds of things.
I'll say that the guards, uh, you know, they're in the rain, they're wet, but you can just tell they're just fucking sweating. Like they're just like they were way in over their heads. And so the guard kind of Luther says, "Oh, well, okay, I'll continue on." And he kind of takes the torch, and uh, Ramor kind of walks to you all, and he kind of takes out of his pocket a stone that the three in Lasta have all already seen before. But Alden, you see this kind of this baseball-sized, kind of this light
What's a
grayish
baseball?
crystal. And I'll say that it looks like Meridian's beacon in Skyrim. It looks like that. It's kind of cut like that. And
Ugh.
so as he kind of pulls it out, and he says, "All right, well, everyone, just touch my hand or my shoulder or something. I've never really done it with this many people."
All right.
And he's kind of just holding out his reach hand.
Yeah, I go to grab it. I kind of hesitate, but I do.
And he says, "Okay, this is gonna take about 10 seconds. I don't know if you've all ever done this, but it's gonna slowly transfer us over to the transportation room in Oade." And he kind of squeezes it with his hand, and it starts to kind of faintly glow in his hand with this light gray color. And I'll say the one, two, three, the five of you that are all touching, you can see your vision start to become a little bit grayer, and as you see the world around you slowly starts fading away, and what instead is being replaced by this other place that you're fading into is this small gray room that is made out of stone. And as you're slowly progressing, it's like 1 second, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. It's getting more and more, so you can start to feel less and less the rain upon your skin, and it starts to feel a little bit less cold as it seems like you're approaching into this temperature just ever so gradually into some place that's actually room temperature. And as you all are transferring, does anybody say anything, do anything as this is going through, or is everybody committing to the transport?
I'm good.
All my energy is just spent on looking around and trying to see if I can move some foot.
Okay. I'll say, Turlon, you do recognize on the ground, just like Vita had said, you can see around in this circle around your feet. It is now larger. It's kind of towards the edges of this small stone room that you are teleporting into. You can see this circle, these two circles, and in between the two circles, you see these letters that look like alcation, kind of this light gray, light white glowing as you are being teleported across. And I'll say during the last few seconds, the storm is slowly fading away to where you can basically just see this stone room around you, and I'll actually activate the scene. And you see that you all are standing within this small gray room. You can see on one end is a door with a little slit in the middle of it, and on the other end is this little brown basket that appears to have other stones within it. But let's take a quick bathroom break real quick.
Okay.
So, Stephen, presumably it must have been kind of funny if you had intended this whole time to give us this teleportation to watch us spend a good 45 minutes last session thinking about the logistics of traveling to Oade.
It was, yeah, well, I'm glad that you all did it because there was a very real possibility that if, if you all just decided to not go with transportation, then yeah, you all would have made it to Oade eventually. We would have gone through some fast travel stuff, but because you
For
all
the
had
record, I,
prepared.
the player, am glad that we
I'm
didn't
back.
have to go through 2 months or
Yeah,
whatever of
it already
away
took us an
travel.
hour 20 just to get here.
As the character, I'm very cautious of these people for my
Mhm.
own reasons.
Understandable.
As the player, thank God,
Thank the
thank
Lord.
God for Luther.
Good old Luther. You're back, Craigbert.
Yep, I'm here.
They call him
Alright.
that. They do call him that.
Alright. As you all appear, you can feel just all of a sudden there is no more storm anymore. And you can fuck. I scrolled past. What did I say the fucking guy's name was? Sorry, I'm in the wrong place. The guard, I'm just gonna say the guard, kind of pulls his hand away. And you all are now within this room, kind of the circle of the allocation around you starts to fade away. And you can see you're now within this room, like I said, simple stone, small, not super small, but smallish room. It's not super cramped, but you're taking up quite a bit of space in here, and you can see that there's a door on the other side with a slit in the top that's currently closed, but it's obvious that there's like a cover that can slide. And you can see on the other side there's a little basket with it looks like more stones, and I'll say the guard says, "Oh, excuse me," and he kind of gets around you all and drops down the stone into the basket. And I'll say that you see there's like 5 or 6 of these things within this basket. And he goes back to the door and then uh, knocks on the door a few times, or like in like a specific sequence. And you see the slit open up, and what looks like you can kind of just see slightly through. It's like 2 inches tall. It looks like another guard is there. It says, "What is the passcode?" And the guard that you all are with says, "Everything erodes with time." And the guard through the door says, "All right, well, welcome in." And you hear a door unlock, and then suddenly the door opens, and you all can look into a big room. You see a big room, and the room that you're in, it's kind of honestly bright. From what you all have seen, it's been a lot of stone, it's been some wood, it's has all been very dimly lit. You walk into this room and it's very bright. You can see the ground is almost this white marble, except kind of painted on top of it is a similar emblem that you saw the guards wearing on their chest. It's this 24 pointed star within white, but in the center of this star you see a white circle and then these lines on the ground. Uh, I'll say Felix, give me a religion check for me.
A religion check. Okay.
Roll the dice, Catholic.
Religion.
Oh.
Uh, yeah, you don't recognize anything in this room. You're distracted by how crazy this room is. You see there's a whole bunch of doors all around. Seems to be corresponding with each of the points of the star. And I'll say as you look up at the ceiling, it's probably like 15 feet tall. It is also this white marble, but streaked across it are uh, these kind of almost intertwining like spaghetti lines that are emitting light within this room. So it's like this very fancy lighting, but it appears to be glowing. It's not like, electricity, but it's like this flat light. but you see that all around you, and I'll say you see guards around the room, and then the very final thing that you see is you see there is a man wearing kind of just this blackish brown cloak, kind of just standing next to a man who's wearing similar robes, but has his hood back down, and it is a man with, it's very much like the picture you see, just not red eyes, I'll say that. That's the only way I could see it, and I was trying to get rid of the red eyes. But you see this man with kind of this shriveled in skin. He's probably like 6 feet tall. He looks, he has kind of pointy ears. He looks elvish, very thin and tall, but he has this shrunken in face as it looks like the skin is tight against his muscles. He has this white long hair. And around his eyes, you can just see is within kind of the socket of his eyes is blackness, and it looks like there's kind of this cracked, these cracked black lines that are going around his eyes, that are going into like his veins, his eyes. You do not see any whites of his eyes. It looks like his eyes are fully black as well. So he has this very off-putting face, and I'll say his hands are also exposed, and you can see. His hands are very similarly just this pure white drawn skin against him. And as the door is opened, you hear the voice, the very high-pitched voice that you weren't that you heard from the stone. You hear this voice coming from you can only presume to be Sir Ross. Let me pull down real quick. It says, "Well, hello. Welcome, please welcome in. Welcome to the Oade transportation room. It's a very, very special room. I'm sorry we all got off on the wrong foot, but I'm Sir Ross. I'm hoping to improve that from now on. I'm glad that you all are here at Oade. This is what you wanted, right?" And he's kind of putting up his hands, but he looks kind of terrifying, to be honest with you, but his voice does not match that at all.
Wait, this is the fucked up
This is
no
Sir
eyes
Ross.
guy?
This is, yeah, his eyes are black.
Voice does not match.
Okay.
Yes.
I kind of like turn to you guys a little bit and like raise my eyebrows.
Like, I don't know.
Why do you look like that?
He says, "That
That's
is a
rude.
He says that's no, that's a great question. It's a great question. I understand. To look different from the rest, I have a terrifying visage. I understand. Well, I'll just say this. It's one of the first things I do. It's one of the first things I do whenever I meet anybody. They see me. I can see the look in their eyes. It's a little bit terrifying, but I'll just say this. It's what's the word I'm looking for? I want to use it as a lesson to everybody. If you ever find a book, a thick book with a lock on the outside of it, do not open it. It is locked for a reason.
Oh my god.
And a younger me really should have heard that
Oh.
advice and used it, but I did not. And you can now see me. I'm this cursed
Okay.
shell of a person.
All right.
But he kind of raises his hand. He says, "It's not without its perks. I can know someone's birth name by looking at them." And he kind of looks at you like this. He says, "I know it's not that exactly useful, but I know, for instance, you," and he kind of points at you, Vita. He says, "I know you don't go by your original birth name, which is perfectly fine."
Huh.
Why do everybody keep saying that?
He
Oh
said-
yeah. I didn't mention it, but Vaku really has it out for you. I think you should kind of die now, just because of how adamant
What?
she was. So,
What did she say? I
I
don't
think
know her.
It seems like you're a devil. I don't know.
Oh, that's a good
And
point. That would
Ori,
match up
that
with
little thing in your hat. Yeah, something's wrong with that thing too.
that matches up with him
Well, I'm
being
with
able
you
to
on
step
that.
in the fire. I look to you, Alden, like kind of nodding my head. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, you're a devil,
What?
Vita.
We're not
I
doing
don't
this
know.
right now, guys. We're not doing
Anyway,
this one right
I
now.
need a bath. I'm sorry you look like
Wait.
that, but
Wait, what's my name? Wait.
Oh yeah, we should go back
Your-
to that. What is?
your name? Well, your birth name. Do you not know your birth name?
I thought I did, but if you're telling me I don't know, then I guess I don't know.
Well, I'm not saying you don't. You just not go. Oh, I understand. Well, your birth name, at least what this curse is telling me. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's wrong. It's never been wrong, but maybe it's wrong. your birth name is, well, it's Zell Gradris,
I feel that's
and
wrong.
which is just what Vaku says. And I'll say,
Yeah.
as soon as you hear Zell Gradris Vita, I'd like for you to make a will saving throw for me.
Leave me. What?
A will
Oh.
saving throw.
That's not bad or anything.
Oh, it's
My
not bad
God.
at all. It's not
There we
bad at
go.
all.
That's not bad.
I'll
Who knows what
say,
happened?
as soon as you hear Zelgradris, it's not like I really don't want to play this as if you've been like hit by something, but like when you like when you smell something and it brings back this memory and you're just kind of hit with this wave of nostalgia almost. Almost like it's like memories come flooding back. It's like that. Like I want to put it like that, and what you think in your head based off your role, for a moment, just a second or two, you hear this name and it all comes rushing at once, but you can almost smell what smells like chocolate. You can smell like melted chocolate. And you can hear fucking kid. You hear you can smell chocolate. You can almost hear birds singing within your mind. Like, there's memories of birds singing. You can hear children laughing. You can hear kind of like the sounds of waves crashing on a beach, but like this calm, like, just as if you were sitting at a beach of some sort. And just for a moment, you get those smells and these sights and hearing, and you're brought right back into the moment. But you hear your name and
Okay,
you heal
guy.
Zelgradris.
All right, I get it. Just do everyone else's now. I'm out of this.
Wait, what if my parents' name be something else and I didn't know about it?
Yeah,
What's
I'm
my
out of
name?
this.
Sir Ross says, well, you all are going by your original names.
Oh, that's boring.
Well, yes, you're Alden. Yes. And he looks at you, Felix. He says, you're Felix. And he looks at you, Turlon. He says, and you're Prestel.
I'm gonna put my hand up. I'm gonna put my hand up before
Wait.
before you
Okay.
say that.
Okay.
I put my hand up and
Yeah,
I say,
and he'll say, and you're,
don't bother.
and what do you go by now?
Erlan.
Turlon. I understand.
I don't believe that anymore. It's just,
He says,
I mean,
well,
why say something if you're not?
No, it's fine. People can go by whatever their name is. My original name was not Ross, for instance, but I understand. I'm sorry. And he kind of shakes his head as you did that, Turlon, or after doing that, Turlon. He says, I apologize. I shouldn't have just so willy-nilly started saying people's names. I understand that there's a lot of weight with a name. I got so excited. I apologize for that.
Fine.
I really am sorry. And he kind of looks like, even though he has these blackened eyes, his eyebrows are kind of like outswayed. He looks upset with
He's got
himself.
puppy dog eyes.
Yeah, he's just like, fuck. But he says, well, we're here in person. You wanted to speak in person. Any questions you have at all, please. I'm ready for them. And he is very expressive with his hands. He's talking like I'm talking right now. He's just like, as this high pitched voice, just talking to you all. It's very strange, this striking imagery of this cursed person, but talking the way he is.
what
Oh, you go.
is there a bath?
He says, yes, we have a bath later, but I want to get through these questions first.
Okay.
Was this guy? Obviously, he's not human per se, but like, was he human?
He looks elvish. He looks elvish, just with like sunken in skin.
Got it. All right. I mean, I feel like I kind of, I turn around to you guys. I say, well, what do I'm kind of like not trying to hide it, but just trying to make it clear that I'm talking to them and not him.
Yeah.
What do we want to ask him? I mean, I mean, frankly, an hour ago, I thought these people were an enemy of some kind, and I'm not convinced they aren't. So
Don't we still think Rayliden controlled the storm somehow? Wouldn't that Wouldn't you have learned that from these guys? We just came with those same symbols. I don't know if we can really ask him that, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Like, we were coming here to find them because we thought they were doing the storm, but now we're kind of here.
Yes. I I look back at this guy, presuming that he can hear us, and looking back at you guys.
I'll say that this is a pretty big room, so you could whisper without being heard.
Yeah, I'm trying to be quiet.
And it doesn't look like he's like trying to listen in. I'll
don't know
put it
why
that way.
I didn't want to say anything of this kind, but I have to level with the three of you. Rayladan noticed something about me, which might indicate that he is of a certain underbelly of society, which has put me off and concerned me this whole time, and colored my opinion about this group. I am wondering why he would know that about me, and how, if he himself is not wrapped up in something less than savory.
And we shouldn't just ask him. 'Cause he'll probably lie. We can't beat them up.
I shake my head.
I don't know what any of
That's all
this
we've
is.
done so far.
Yeah, you really could use a bath.
Maybe let's just go along and see if we can find anything around here before we leave this place. And
Yeah.
we're gonna eat with him.
What's for dinner?
I'm gonna say, well, I have one question. I'd say to you guys, as Alden says he wants dinner.
Yeah, I'll resolve the dinner. I'll say, he says, well, we brought things from all around Sumia. We didn't know what you all would really want, but we got some from, from the Wentot Island and some of their delicacies, and we got some from the Tilgi Forest. I heard you all were in Riddock, so we got some CG oysters, but we also have some
cheese?
Zaroon class. Oh, we have many things with cheese and
No, egg cheese. It's very specific.
egg cheese. Are you just making that up, or is it something you've had before?
No, I'm making it up, but I want to see if he. I mean, I'm making it up in real life, but Alden's actually had.
Yeah, like
food called egg
that's what I'm
cheese,
saying.
yeah.
Yeah, as Alden, so it's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
He'll say, well, we can see if the chefs prepared it, but we can absolutely prepare that. It seems it's a simple recipe, as you know, just eggs and cheese.
Well, come on now.
Yeah, well, you're right. There are the different spices and add-ins that people like, but
Anyway, moving on.
Oh my god.
you had a question, Turlon, and he kind of points his hand.
Yes. I think the best way to word this is, I'd like to know more from your mouth about this situation with Rayladan. You see, he seemed to think the three of us would be, for whatever reasons, would be down with essentially assassinating these two important people in Lasta.
Mm-hmm. He's nodding his head.
On some level, he must have assumed that that kind of behavior was beneficial to this organization at least, but in line with its goals. That experience has colored my opinion about what it is you do here, and I admit I'm still on edge. Why would someone like Rayladan think that assassinating two seemingly well-liked politicians would both benefit you and follow the creed of your organization? That is what confused me right now.
He's not along, and he says, I fully understand that. You see, we here at the Vein Breakers, he says, we here at the Vein Breakers, what we mainly are an investigation group. We, for the various priests of Vasir here in Oade, but also for anyone who wants to come by with a contract for us to investigate something. But sometimes there are clauses in that contract that Rayladan and he kind of sighs. He says, kind of pushed you all that was really our only thing is that sometimes we are paid to dispatch of people. But, and he raises his hands and he says, but we don't believe in just the outright just removal of people just because we paid. I know some other organizations do that. And he says, but we are just trying to we try and investigate to see if everything that the person who created the contract, if everything's in order there, and then we fulfill the contract if necessary. Now, the contract that Rayladin got came to me with, it was 4,000 gold, which is quite a hefty sum of money, and made these claims against Mother Donapin and Mrs. Viaton. Yes, made claims against them that they had stolen land or something. It seemed pretty preposterous, especially for these farmers coming in with 4,000 gold. That's quite a lot for farmers from Losta, but we still went through with it. Railden picked it up to go through with the investigation, and from our listening stones, and he'll say, I'll make this clear. All of our investigators wear listening stones, so we can have individuals here back at the headquarters listening in on information in case they miss anything. But Rayladin seemed to find nothing amiss. These farmers, the library was built long ago. They don't seem to be bad people at all. There seems to be some misunderstanding for whatever reason, and so Railden should have just left, to be honest with you, after his investigation, but he seemingly found an opportunity. I can't know what Railden was thinking, but it seems like he had the opportunity to complete this contract, fool you all into thinking these are bad people, and that if you help them, help kill them, then he would get the payout and he would get promoted to a senior member. That, of course, wouldn't have happened. We were listening in the whole time. We know it was bogus. But, he kind of, he's been talking this whole time. He kind of stands up straight and he says, but you all stepped in and helped out. And aided in that. Yeah, and yes, and
look at Alden and laugh.
he said, you helped in, and Alden, maybe you were there for support. I don't know what your bird thing is. I wasn't there for that. Yes.
He wasn't there.
He was
lying. I had a sore throat.
If you give us any gold, it ought to be split 3 ways, not 4.
He's lying.
He says,
don't even know his real name. His real name. I'm sorry.
He said.
You agenda me.
Your agenda.
He says,
Did
oh
I
yes,
get Alden's
he says, Alden, oh yes, I remember them mentioning that one of you was left back by the witch on top of the mountain, so I'm presuming that was you.
I had to fight her to prevent her from creating another storm, so,
Says, well, he raises his eyebrows and he says, well,
Really?
Thank you for doing that. Make a deception check, Alden.
I thought you were telling the truth. Fuck you. Hang on, I'm gonna react depending on my perception DC versus your deception check.
Oh.
Yeah, I think you got it. Yeah, I look at you, I go, wow.
Wow.
So
wow.
Is this you can have me say this if it would make sense to say it. So is he implying that Rayladin, there was an outside party that Rayladin maybe was in contact with another group or something that he could complete this anyway and get the payout, or is he saying that Rayladin just kind of lost it?
Well, for player to player, before player to GM, I don't know what you think, Alex, but I don't think he's implying that. I think that could be the case.
Yeah. What is he implying right now?
Yeah. My immediate follow-up is like, okay, yeah, Rayladin went rogue, theoretically, but also kept his listening stone on the entire time.
Yeah, that's what I would say. That's what I was thinking about saying.
Who wrote the contract? Why was it there? And yeah, was he? Because if he was doing this for some other organization, like if he was getting paid, backhandedly, right? But
he would get rid of listening stone.
Yeah, immediately, right?
Yeah.
Go rogue, and he'd be able to kill them easily.
That's what I'm thinking.
You say it if you want. Yeah, I just wanted to get my thoughts
Yeah.
out there. I presume you could, Steven.
I was gonna
and
say that anyway.
Chatting about it. Alex, I don't know what are your opinions, Alex. Craig. Because I'm only asking Alex, Craig, and not Fleur because you actually saw Raylodon.
Yeah, no, that's suspicious.
Yeah. Well, I presume in character we're discussing that a little bit. If you want to ask Dylan, you're up. I've talked a lot.
Yeah, I'll just ask that. Why? Yeah, if I mean, this makes sense, but why would he keep the listening stone on him if he's doing something against all of your guys' rules and he's going rogue? It doesn't make any sense.
He says, let me make sure of something real quick. He says, well, he did leave the listening stones within whatever jail that you all were in when you were being escorted out. He did, if I remember the line of details correctly, you all left to go to the library, and then after a while, the what's the word? The sending stone was returned here. We were alerted to this. None of Raylodon was there, so I'd imagine that you all got the stone off of them in some way, but with it returning, Raylodon obviously had passed, and so we only presumed that it was you three. That's why I started to doubt whether we were correct in everything that we had mentioned, but he did get rid of the listening stone when you all were within the jail.
All right.
Is
Well,
he
that makes-
being real or is he lying?
Are you telling the truth?
Make a
Yeah, I also
perception
went
check.
through that.
Make a perception check.
Why are you always lying? Oh my God, Felix!
Maybe when I roll a 32.
Bro,
A 32.
go ahead and double me, why
Yeah,
don't you?
32.
Sheesh.
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 Jeez.
Are you rolling, Vita?
I don't
If
really
you
have
want to.
I
Yeah,
guess.
if you want
I'll
to. Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, I'll say that, yeah, all of you are able to tell that Sir Ross seems like the most genuine person that you've interacted with in terms of it seems like he's trying to be as open as possible. So I would say that you all, yeah, he's telling the truth. That's what you would all pick up on.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that makes these people look a little better.
I presume we share that information and kind of glances back and forth that we all would kind of intuitively look to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Agree.
Okay. I'm hungry.
Oh, I'm stinky.
So,
Oh my god.
Hey,
Dude.
Craig.
let me understand this then. Raylodon went rogue or almost rogue to hopefully get a lot of money from this bogus contract. Of course, there's a whole follow-on conversation about who wrote
Fucking
that.
sipping it, brother.
Yeah, cartoon sound effect.
That's
I
a
turn
little
around-
Roblox
sorry, guys.
item.
I turn around to Alden and he has a giant sippy cup in his hand.
Oh?
Of course, there's a whole other conversation about who wrote this contract. But as I understand, then you have invited us here to thank us for killing Raylodon. Well, perhaps not for killing Raylodon. Let's not be so. Kevin cannot think of the word that I'm looking for.
Dispose of.
So harsh.
Sure.
He says, yes, I wanted to reward you all for essentially stopping the assassination of two innocent people. I'd imagine that if these were the leaders of Lasta, then taking them out would have absolutely destroyed all organization within Lasta, and with the storm, it would have been awful, but you all prevented that, so I wanted to reward you all with, well, even with this dinner and this transportation here to Oade, I still really owe you all because the reputation of the Veinbreakers would have, also taken a hit, and you all have successfully done that, or successfully prevented that. And as part, just so you all know, at least where the money went, it was a $4,000 contract. That is a great point, Turlon.
What's a dollar?
We're still gold.
I hate this guy. Mod, kill this guy.
He says to Turlon, he says it was a great point, Turlon, that we are still investigating where exactly, because it obviously wasn't from these farmers where this 4,000 gold was coming from. But 500 of it went to us. We always take an eighth of whatever the contract was for the investigation and everything like that. But the rest has gone over to Mother Donipin and Mrs. Viaton as a, well, this has really never happened before, so I guess it's an apology or something. So that is also being delivered with Luther.
Okay.
We should have robbed him when we. Oh, good for him.
There is a world where that happened.
Yeah.
You all murdered them.
So we mugged these guys.
Next time.
Discover
Yeah,
a
wait,
bag
wait.
of 35,000 gold or
Let's
3,500
kill
gold.
these guys.
You know
Wait
what?
a
Let's
second.
kill these guys.
Well, do you all have any questions, or should we go and eat?
It makes sense to me.
And he kind of claps his hand. He says, well, awesome. Well, come on and get in the center here. This will take us down to our headquarters. And he kind of steps back for you all to approach towards the
I get
center.
right
It's
next
like-
to him. I get right next to him.
This is like fairly nice and fancy in
Mhm.
comparison to like places I have been. Right?
yeah.
Like the redacted where I'm from don't have this shit. At least not where I was. Right?
No, definitely not.
Hmm.
So do you all approach to go on the center of the thing?
I've been in nicer places.
Yeah, I'm gonna give a little more space than Alden does, but yeah.
He says, well, Max, can you, and he looks at Max, and Max looks back and he says, you have to check for the markings. And Sir Ross says, oh, you're right. Yes, just a formality. I need to, can you all please show me the back of your neck real quick to see if you're part of another organization that may want us to be taken down?
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
Sure.
Yeah, hold on.
Sorry,
Alright.
sorry, my brain skipped a beat. What did he
Here you
say?
go.
He
Yeah,
said,
I
"Can
lean
I?"
over.
He says, "Can I show me the back of your neck to see if you're marked for another organization that may want to take down the vein breakers?"
I'm with Alden.
He
I do
says
it.
it's just a formality.
Which organization are you thinking of in particular? As I lean over and, you know,
He says, so first I want to resolve, is everyone showing the back of their neck?
I'm waiting for the other two to go first, and then once they turn back around, I will show mine.
Hang on. I'm gonna need to DM you, Steve.
Oh,
as he looks, he sees a little bit of lice crawling around in my hair.
great.
To see it
Great.
crawling around is scary.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
I got really close to those Yetis.
My God.
Yeah, I walk forward and I prepare to like pull down the
Go.
back of my cloak, all the things like in my pockets clank. I pull it down.
And he says, well, to answer your question, Alden, this is a group that, well, is a rival of ours. I guess would love us to get taken down in the Yimba Wilds. So you all are not part of it. That's great. Can I see your right ankle, the inside of your right ankle, please, all of you?
Sure.
All right, yeah.
Pull my right ankle.
Yeah, and he looks at them all and he says, oh, well, looks all in according, and he says, and Alden, Vita, and Felix, can I see the inside of your left forearm?
Sure.
Wait, why not? Why not Turlon?
Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Oh my
I'm
God.
asking him though. It makes it
You
weird.
ask him. He says,
Yeah.
well, I already know what is on Turlon's left forearm. And he kind of looks at you.
Okay.
I smile
there
at
you
you,
go.
Vita.
All right.
I'm not curious. Here we go.
Okay, you all show it. Bare
Yeah.
left forearm. And I'll say, he says, well, everything is in order. And he looks to you, Turlon, and he says, I do need to ask you, though, has it corroded?
Has it?
Oh my lord.
I don't
What
think
is
it would.
that?
I mean,
I'll say,
Oh.
I'll,
I
s-
don't know how
I'll
long, I don't
say,
know how long it would take.
I'm looking at the other two. Like, is this a concern?
I'm like, I don't know.
I just got back, man.
Probably nothing to worry about. You should trust me. I'm trustworthy.
This person doesn't use their original name.
Yeah.
Covered in evil tattoos.
I've never done anything suspicious, and they're not tattoos.
Should we do
alright?
something about this?
Murder
Not
everybody.
like we can do anything now.
No,
They're
I can't.
not. They're not tattoos.
Alright.
Okay, yeah, that's an interesting response. Um, I don't think so. I say, genuinely sounding confused. I'm not trying to hide anything.
Corroded. You're the person with the metal arm.
That'd be crazy. That would be
Oh
nuts.
my god.
What
It
the
all
hell?
connects.
No.
I'll say,
It's been a while.
he says, he kind of, give me a diplomacy check. Just the general vibe of how he's feeling about you.
Yeah, for sure. 26. Wait, no, that's Vita's roll. LOL. 24.
He will say, well, how about you just show it just to me? How's that sound?
I don't respond for a good 5 seconds, and I look to the rest of the group.
I'm gossiping with Vita and Felix. I'm like, what do you think it is?
I don't know.
I bet it's a little face.
It sounds bad.
I don't know what
There's
the
some
deal
sort of
is.
bad word.
I pull my cloak up on my left arm, right, Steven? Am I crazy?
Left arm, yes.
Yeah, I pull the cloak up on my left arm, and I say, well, at this point, and I turn around and I show you guys my left arm.
And so you see on the inside of Turlon's left arm is probably like a half-inch scar from his wrist up to the inside of the elbow. Just along the entire way, it is this kind of dark gray scar. It's not like, it has the raised skin, but it's this dark gray, and you can see that it has one long line and it has two lines from the wrist. There's two horizontal lines across that are also similarly black and kind of has this raised bumpy texture to it. But it's not like fully black, but it's kind of gray. And he kind of shows it out. And he says, you go, whatever you want.
Yeah, I just show it to you guys, and I don't explain it. I just say, I'm trying to build trust again.
One of those, huh?
It's been a while since I've been able to trust people. And I turn around and I show the scar to Ross.
He says, great,
Sir,
it's already
Ross.
started. Yes, great, it's already started corrupting. That is fantastic news. It means you're not a fresh one. Well, one second. My fucking thing is stuck. He says,
I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't worry about it.
it hasn't been freshened in a while. Now, let us all eat. And he claps. And he
I'm not
kind
really
of looks.
hungry anymore.
I'm not really thinking about it too much. I'm hungry.
I cover my arm immediately as soon as the conversation is over, and I pull up the big cloak just like around myself and just like huddle up in it. Let's eat.
He looks over to the cloaked figure that's kind of been standing there. What was his name? I made it up on the spot. Was it
Sam.
Max? Sam?
Zeke.
Okay. Zeke. I'm getting
See
lots
two.
of different answers. I'm
Mhm.
gonna retcon it to Max. He said you see Max kind of go towards the center, and he takes out this small little kind of this marble almost, this little orange marble that you see, and he traces it along this line within the ground, kind of this line, uh, this little hump that you see here. He kind of traces it very quickly, and it glows for just a moment, the line within the ground, and then with the entire white circle that you see that goes from here to here starts to shift down just ever so slowly, like maybe like, like 2-3 inches a second, just starts to make this grinding sound as stone begins to start descending down. Uh,
Gotcha.
how
Wait,
how do you all react to it?
Felix isn't on the pedestal.
Get him out! Get him over here! Get him over here! Get him over
Wait.
here!
What?
Wait.
Felix! Your mini's not on the in Foundry. You're not
Oh,
on the pedestal.
There we go.
I kind of just like look around in awe. That's all I do. And I'm also probably actually like what's the word? Instinctively rubbing like the part of my arm that you guys now know has a fucked up scar on it. That's
gotcha.
all.
Is
Alden,
that
Alden has seen gods the last 12 hours, so he's just sort of,
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
life's happening to Alden. But Felix or Vita, you're now standing on a moving platform.
Cool.
It's descending. Any
Not that weird.
reaction or just it's just we're
No,
just vibing.
it's
We've
just
seen things.
Hell yeah, we've seen things. We activate the new scene. As you
Whoa.
start to descend,
wow.
you can see that the ceiling of this next floor that you're descending towards starts to become visible, and you're able to look into this room, and it is the same symbol with on the ground that you were standing on before, but you now see a much larger room with kind of rooms for kind of areas that are offset, and this is a very large area, right? Like, I mean, what is this? It's like somebody's zooming. This is like 200 feet across. Uh, so it's a very large room. It's probably like 15 feet tall. Once again, marble floors. But you can see that there are stone tables just to the north on the map. I don't know what direction it would be actually, but north on the map you see all these stone tables where there's a bunch of people sitting. It looks like they're eating, conversing. They are all dressed similarly to Sam, in kind of these brown cloaks with like their hoods up. Some of them have their hoods down. You see just a huge spread of food all the way against the back wall to the north. And then you see to the east, you see kind of the sand pit area with these tables that are just covered in these large pieces of parchment. And you see some people walking out, and it looks like they're kind of tracing out steps for something. And you see to the south, you see a man kind of practicing archery against some targets. And then a man practicing some swings against some of these dummies that are kind of stacked against the back wall. And then you see to the west on the map, you see kind of a kitchen area where food is being prepared by some people that are also wearing these cloaks, but it seems like they're not just there for a little bit. It seems like they're working as the chefs right now. So you kind of move down into this area, the stone, as it stops at the bottom. And do you all say anything?
Wow.
I'm still kind of looking around in awe. It's a big building, big base.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm also, I guess, secretly at this point now, knowing how the situation has gone, I am trying to steal occasional glances at Vita and Felix to see if they're looking at me weird.
I'm
I'll
not.
I'll say yeah. I'll say make a perception check for me.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Turlon.
24.
Okay, I'll say based off that roll, the other three, are you giving glances? Based off that roll, do you think that you, Turlon would notice anything from you.
No.
I'm not really looking.
Cool. That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Keep on vibing.
As it kind of clicks into place and you're kind of looking around the space, Sir Ross says, "Well, welcome to the Vein Breakers. We are here. This is kind of our first floor of our base. You can see there's some dining, some strategy areas, and some practice for armors and everything. But come here. We have a whole spread. We tried to get everything from everywhere just to see if we didn't really know what you all liked." And he starts walking to the dining areas. Do you all follow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
All
hungry.
right. You're kind of passing by some people, and you see that Sir Ross says, "Hello, these are our guests. Yes, they helped us out. They helped us out." And you see some of them like wave to you, and they kind of some people just nod to you. It seems like Sir Ross is much more social than some of these people. He seems to be quite a social fella. And he says, "Well, you can see here before you, we got a whole spread of things." I didn't really want to put a ton of effort into showing it in Foundry, but you can see that there are just these tables just packed with various foods. A lot of it you don't recognize. Some of it you all do recognize. I'll say that, yes, Turlon, if you are looking for it, you do see that there is cran bread.
Let's fucking
No.
go. I am.
Yes! Cran bread!
Yes!
And you can see every kind of, fruit that you've ever seen. You can see every kind of meat that you've ever seen, various dishes. And Sir Ross kind of looks to you, Alden, and says, "Do you want your egg cheese? What would you like in it? We can have it specially made. If you see some here, I believe we do have some, but if it's not to your liking, we can make something specially for you. This is part of your reward. After all, we want to make sure you're all satisfied."
Do you have any toadstool?
He
Oh
says,
my god.
he says, "Well, of course we do. And would you like that in your egg cheese?"
Yes, please.
He says,
Yes, yes, yes,
"Well,"
yes.
he says, "we can definitely have one of our chefs make it right away." And you'll see that Sam, who was also following along, he says, "Can you please go?" And Sam says, "Yes, right away, sir." And kind of
Can you
goes
please
off.
You
Yes.
gotta get the fuck out of here, Sam.
You gotta get out of here, Sam. Samwise. He says, "Well, if anything's not to your liking, please let me know." I'll say, you see everything you could ever want in front of you all. What would everyone pick up?
Cran bread,
Um,
obviously.
Cran
A
bread,
bunch
yeah.
of meat, cran
Okay.
bread, toadstool with egg cheese.
I gotta follow for the cranberries. We just talked about that.
I'm gonna get
Uh,
literally everything from my homeland.
Okay. Yeah.
Any
That
chocolate
seems.
here?
Sir Ross says, "Yes, we have a whole display.
Breathing it.
Chocolate straight from the trees within the Yetok Wilds. Or the Yimba Wilds."
But you
Mm,
talk
Uh,
wild.
I don't know what any of
and
that means, but I'll take some chocolate.
Nice.
he says,
Yeah,
"Well,
I take a few candies and sweets and stuff.
Didn't you say you
Mhm.
like lamb stew? Was it the video you said? Do you like lamb stew? Or was it your favorite favorite
it was
food? Yeah.
he just liked bread," is the way he
I like
described it, and
plain
that's how we
bread.
got to
Vida,
cran bread.
you have to try wait, Vida. I walk up
I
with a
like
plate full
regular
of
white bread.
with a plate full of various
God.
Steven, what does food of my homeland look like? Is there a particular cultural cuisine bend to it?
I'll say that it is lots of sauces. Like, I'll say at the table, there's probably like a good
Sauces.
6 or 7 just kind of bowls of sauces. I'll say that at any feast that you've ever been to in your homeland, you would see, a similar table of spreads. So you would probably have a sampling of all these various sauces.
I'll just
But
mimic
I'll say,
Caroline. Take
yeah.
everything they take.
So I walk up to you with this like I find like a bigger plate, and there's a bunch of small sauce dishes on it, and I walk up to you with that and a couple other kinds of meats, and I'm like have this bread. I tear off a bit and say, "Oh, it's cran bread. It's cran bread. I wanted you to try it," and This
Okay.
isn't considered what you call it in common posh in your in my culture, but I like to dip it in the various sauces. Meat it's considered okay, but bread it's maybe not normal to
Get
dip.
dipped.
Meanwhile,
Get dopped.
I dip it in like 3 different of these sauces. I go for
Gonna be
like
tough to beat the
yellow,
travel
blue.
bread, but I'll try it. How
And
do I
I'll
know if I
say,
like it or not?
I'd
There's no.
recommend. I'd recommend. You got to try it plain, but I'd recommend this sauce and this sauce. And I point to two that look a bit lighter. You smell them; they're very savory.
just roll a d20 for me, Lita.
Roll to eat.
We'll see how much you like it, dude. Full random. Right down the middle. Yeah, it's good.
Pretty good. I get used to this. I'll go grab some more. You know what? I think if I eat this instead of normal bread every day, I'd be fine.
That's
What
good.
What a
You
glowing,
wouldn't die.
glowing review.
What an awesome review.
You
Glowing
wouldn't die.
review.
I think I'd be pretty cool.
I think I would be
I'll go
fine.
get some more.
What?
What's about you? What have you been gravitating towards here, Vita? There's so much. Tell me this
Chocolate.
that I've never heard of.
Yeah, I don't know. Ever since you said my name, I've just been craving chocolate. I don't know if
Mm.
that's a thing that happens in
Did you have
general,
some sort
but
of memory of chocolate?
That's
no,
very not normal, but
no.
Yeah, I don't think that's normal.
When
Well,
I hear Steven, I just start thinking about peaches.
They call
What?
Peachy
well, that's
Steven.
what happened.
Peachy
So,
Steven.
I mean, what about you, Felix? Don't you eat?
yes, I eat.
I've seen Felix eat. Felix eats.
What do you eat?
I have like a little bowl of stew in front of me.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
yeah, we've had that.
Oh, is that lamb stew?
Yeah, I think so.
I like perk up. Oh, what table did you get the lamb stew at?
I turn around and I point at one behind me. It's like right over there.
You'll have to give me a second to eat that.
Content is incredible.
And I go to get my what's wrong? What's wrong with the little cookie and eating? It's fun.
It's
I walk up to the table to go get some
Cookie
lamb stew. And I steal I look around and when no one's watching, I dip my cran bread in it.
Fucking
Ashamed.
wild.
In there.
Oh, shit.
Disgusting, dude.
I'll say,
Hey, this guy's dipping cran bread.
Disgusting.
I'll say, Alden, you get your egg cheese, and it looks fucking delectable. Like,
Nice.
like it looks. I mean, it's hot, it's fresh, and
Oh.
yeah, you're pretty fucking hyped for it.
Ooh. Okay. Alden's getting flashbacks to his days in school when he was bullied and had to sit by himself. So he's kind of taken a seat by himself over here in the corner,
Mm-hmm.
and he gets this egg cheese. And he's like, and I bite into it, and it's pretty good, man. I'd recommend everyone gets the egg cheese.
All right, I'll go try the egg cheese. Do I like it?
I like it a little better than cran bread.
My God.
A little bit.
I'll say that.
Oh, this is no cran bread. I say it.
Fuck,
I say
everyone
I,
hates it.
No.
What's the proper way to eat egg cheese? Lafleur, how do I eat that?
How do you eat
Oh.
egg cheese?
Yeah.
Well,
Usually with a spoon.
Imagine.
Okay, yeah. So I take
But if it's a little bit
spoonful.
firmer, you can use a fork.
Doesn't sound
Yeah,
good.
I take a spoonful of the egg cheese. I kind of give it a weird look, and then I go and I.
It's got the
I look-
consistency
I
of
look-
cottage cheese, but it has chunks that had the same consistency as grapes in it. It's pretty good.
I'm
Oh
gonna
my
I'm
god.
gonna wash that down with some cran bread.
Dip the cran bread in the egg chease.
Oh, I don't want to. I don't want to.
Okay, your loss.
I don't want to do that.
I'll say you all start to gravitate towards the table that Alden is sitting at, kind of in this corner, and I'll say that. Let me drag everybody there just so they're there, and I'll say how we're gonna end the session is you all are starting to sit down, and I'll say that no, yeah, that'd be crazy. I'll say that as you are, you're starting to sit down. Alden has kind of been sitting there for a while. You're starting to sit down, and all of a sudden, Alden is eating. He takes a bite, and then he makes this noise. He makes this noise where
No
it
way.
is. It goes.
No way.
It goes. And he. It looks okay. Give me all a perception check. This is the final thing that we're doing.
This is
Even
so
me?
I have no idea.
Not you.
I
Not you.
have genuinely no idea.
Fuck.
No.
What was in that egg
I
cheese?
can't
man?
even
I'm gonna
guess.
use. I haven't used my hero point all sessions. I'm gonna use it again to help
Yeah.
me get better.
Yeah.
There we go.
Fuck, man. What was in that
I'll
egg
say.
cheese?
I'll say that Vita, you're kind of turned around, and you're kind of like trying to sit down. You're thinking about why do I crave chocolate so much? You're ready to devour this chocolate. But I'll say Turlon Felix, like you don't know. I'll have to say it, even with your rolls, you don't know if you saw this correctly. But it looks like Alden's head shrunk down into his clothes. And what happens is Alden makes this whoop sound, and his clothes just collapse. It looks like he just disappeared, and all of his clothes and his mask that he was wearing, and or his beard, I'll say, his hat, all of his cloaks, his bag just collapses, and some of it falls on the ground in a split second, and that's where we're gonna end the session.
God, that's what do
What?
you mean?
What happened?
What
Oh,
do
he
you
doesn't know
mean?
any spells. Oh, he's not good at spells. Okay. All right.
The,
What do you
the
mean?
haters say.
The haters say, yeah, the haters say he's bad at
Haters
spells.
say.
He just had an allergic
So is it like-
reaction.
Obi-Wan, like he's just
It looks exactly
vanished?
like Obi-Wan for you.
He's just
Turlon
dead.
and Felix, it's you can't believe if you actually saw it with your eyes, but it looks like
That's
it
insane.
looks like
That's insane.
Alden's head shrunk for just a moment into his
Steven, I
own
gotta say,
neck.
I was beginning to feel like the Sumia weirdness had kind of left us,
Mhm.
but you really
Yeah,
came in
but-
strong today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a
Doing
good
some
session.
serious
That was a
work
good,
out
that
here.
was a good
What?
session.
Did you? Okay.
Apologies, by the way, to the group for my reticence over the guys, but I
That's
don't trust
okay.
them still.
Yeah,
Good, you're
there's-
role playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't all just be unilateral forces
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, just don't worry about the scar, by the way. It's not that big.
Don't
of a
worry
deal.
about
Don't
it.
worry
Okay.
about it.
Don't worry about it. No one's worried about it. We're fine.
Don't worry
We're
about
not worried.
Just no
I'm
worries.
fine with it. I mean,